Hi everyone, this is Carolynne from Nonnas Nutty Krafts, and this is going to be part 2. I believe it is, because the last time I went over you with things I keep in a notebook to take to craft shows. So now I'm going to show you, it's a little bag, I call it my emergency bag, of things that I take to craft shows all the time. And I never take anything out of this. The only thing I add to it is scissors, pliers, and wire cutters. And I'll explain why as we do this. So what I have this bag like this. It's like an IKEA bag. That's what I use. So you can use what you want. Within there I have, this is about, maybe 18 inches long. It's a tote that sits in the bottom of the bag and I keep the lid on it all the time. So packed on top of that, the first thing I usually have is my tablecloth. Now this is one of those tablecloths that stretches around the legs, so it makes it look like really tight. And you just put the bottom of the foot of the table, in through, on here, so it keeps it nice and tight. I love it, but I will say the drawback for me is because I have totes that I store stuff in that I take to shows, and trying to get that up and over and, the tote in and out, not too feasible. So what I usually do, if I have 2 tables going to my show, I'll have one table that has a regular tablecloth, and I'm just going to pull one out here. I usually use red, but this time I'm going to have a green one. And I just have a regular tablecloth. And what I do with that, I put the totes that I need, that I store extra things in that I need right away for shows. Like if somebody wants more than one item, I keep those totes underneath that table. And the tables I bring are 6 feet. So I usually bring 2. Now, you can go look on my YouTube. I did do 2 videos on setting up a grid wall and setting up a canopy. My canopy can be a 1-person canopy to put up. It came with 1 wall, but I did buy 3 extra walls or sides or tent coverings, whatever you want to call it, for it. The grid wall, I think I showed you, only had 3 panels in it, but I do have more than that, and lattice and all that too, which was the grid walls and the lattice were in there. So check that out. Go look at my YouTube. So the next thing I carry is signs. Now I always have a sign and these you can get, these holders. I don't know if Walmart has them as much as like Staples or an office place. And what I have here, this is where my business card would go. I've glued this on here so nobody could take it. And I have my business name. I did a QR code so they can scan this and it will take them right to my Etsy shop. I say these are the payments that I take. I know that's a glare to you because it's looking at my camera, but the Visa, MasterCard, Discover kind of thing. And that I have standing on my table. I usually try to, anything that has the business card holders, I try to spread them out on 2 different tables. This one is if you want a special order. I know this may be looking reversed to you in the picture here, because if I turn my camera around, I won't know if I'm in frame. So it's on my phone. But this one is if you need a special occasion or something, custom order, I make those as well. So I have business cards with that. I also have a sign that's up there telling people, hey, wreaths make great gifts for Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, Valentine's Day, etc., anniversaries, weddings. So not to leave those type of special events out of people's lives. I carry a bag which has little signs that say 20% off, a sale sign of some sort in here. These little stars in here, I got these at Dollar Tree. I don't remember how many you get in the bag, but that's what I used. I think it came with the cord. If not, hole punish it, put a string on it. And when I want to run something, maybe, it's getting towards the end of a season or something, and I may want to run some sales, and I'll just stick these on there. I also will make a sign that says, hey, 20% off all Christmas or something like that. Okay. I also carry in my bag, and every single one of my wreaths has my business card attached and my little ticket gun. So you can get these on Amazon or any of the office places, as well as the little things to, you know, put in there to get your item. For me, it's going to be recent crafts. So I make sure every single one of my items has my business card on it. One that saves me the time of, oh, let me give you one. This way it's attached to the item. So for instance, here's a bow. It has the card attached to it. So I don't have to worry about trying to give them a business card or remembering to give them one. When I tag something, you could do it however you want. And I think I went over this in the first part one. I put the price and I have a number on it. It says NNK, known as Nutty Krafts, and it will have like a SKU number. And these range from anywhere from number 1, I think I'm up to 800 in different prices. Sometimes you need more than one of the same price, so you have to make more. You can print cards out and have your business name on it, you know, with the price. You can do that as well. It's really up to you. I get these, you can get the tickets at Dollar Tree or any of your, you know, office supply places. I carry in here, I'll have little bags. So like for instance, what I did, I put a business card on the outside. I glued it. And these are for just little things that they may buy for me. And I have these little bags for them. I have them for different occasions, like for Easter or Christmas. And I just keep them in a bag like this. And I stuff it on the side of my emergency bag. I carry a clipboard. In part 1 of this, I talked about emails, you know, name and emails. So you can put it on here if you're running a contest. In order to enter, you have to give them a name and an email address. And that's a way for you to collect emails from, you know, people too, so you can send out newsletters, because sometimes with the different social media platforms, they may go on the fritz, and at least you have an email so you can still be in contact with your customers. I carry a bag that has zip ties, some extra pipe cleaners in there, or whatever else you use to attach some of your things. For me, because I'll use my grid walls and I'll attach it to my tent, the zip ties are the sturdiest, of course, but you know, you have to tie it up and you got to take it down. So that's why you need, you know, your wire cutters in there. Since COVID hit, I do have a mask I always keep in there. It says known as Nutty Krafts. This is my only one I keep in there. I do carry an apron in there with my business name on it. So I have it there and I wear this all the time. And if somebody's helping me or something like that, I will go ahead and have an extra apron, you know, for them as well in there, so that we're all wearing the same thing. I carry a little notebook. This one happens to have all my little pens and all in it. And, you know, pages in there, a little note. I may write right away, or a customer, you have a question, and I'll, you know, and I can write it down in here, and then I can go back and reference it or whatever it may be. I carry plastic bags. So these plastic bags, I'm going to show you a better box I get from Dollar Tree. And you have to look when you buy these, because some say a pack of 12, some say a pack of 14. And they look like this with the handles. And these are pretty good. They fit anywhere from like a 20-inch wreath down, maybe a 22-inch. It just depends how fluffy it is. So I use these if the customer asks for it. If it's a nice day, sometimes I'll tell the customer, hey, I'll hold it here until you're ready to go, if they're shopping around, as long as they have it already paid for. I don't hold it and wait for them to come back and pay, because, you know, sometimes they don't come back. Now for lighting, if I'm using my tent and it starts getting dark, or some of my craft shows let us use the tent inside, lighting is, you know, could be an issue. And rather than paying for electricity, what I do is I have these little puck lights, and I just press on it, and I'll just set these, you know, on the table in areas where it's dark. And I have about, I don't know, I think like 4 of them in here, as far as that goes. Always carry Band-Aids. This is my little emergency kit in here, which has some first aid things, a little packing thing in here. I always carry that, because there's, you know what, you're always going to get cut somewhere and, you know, it's bleeding all over the place. I carry what they call an extender. And the reason for this is one adapted for my iPhone. The iPhones used to have it where you can plug in so you could put your headphones on and that. Now they don't. So in order to do that, I had to buy one that specially plugs into the bottom of my phone and then has the adapter part here. So I always carry that. I always carry my square with me. I have the big square and I also have the little one. So what I mean by big square is this here. This is a tap. They can tap their card on it or they can put their card inside. Now Square has it if you have your phone and you pull it up on your phone, and they can do it. They can tap on your phone and it will record the sale. But I carry this with me. I also carry this one because hence that extender. This is what the extender also fits into, because you remember, you used to be able to plug them right into your phone and they can swipe their card. Now you can't on the phones. So I always carry the extra cord that goes with it as well. So a couple of days before the show, I go ahead and I pull anything electronic that I need to have in case or whatever, and I make sure they're all charged up. I also have a name badge with my business name on it. And that's just important because sometimes, you know, when you're talking to somebody, you'd like to reference their name. And by having a badge on, they'll call you by your first name. In these little totes that, you know, when you get your lunch meats, I have various types of hooks. I have what they call S hooks. And I'll have them in this size. I have some smaller ones. And I also have the old curtain rods that, you know, Mom used to have the pleated curtains and you used to have these stuck up. Well, they used to go this way and stick up. So I use these and I use them on my lattice mostly, and I will hook my wreath, you know, put it through and then hook my wreath on it, as well as the S hooks. The grid walls has their own, you know, pegs that you can attach onto the grid walls. I keep a pair of spare glasses. Guys, these are from Dollar Tree. I don't keep expensive glasses in here because if they get broken or anything, I say go to Dollar Tree, get yourself a pair of cheap glasses. In this container, and the reason why I do these in containers is because this container that it's in is just a big plastic container that's underneath here, and everything gets jumbled around. So in here I have extra chargers. I have 2. Because in case one runs out, I have a backup. And these are, of course, if your phone runs down, you're very busy and you're using up everything, you need to recharge your phone. So again, a couple of nights before, I go ahead and make sure everything's charged. This here has a tape measure on it, it has a light on it. I forgot how to turn it on because I haven't used it. A leveler. And built in here, gotta remember how to open it. It has a little screwdriving, you know, system. You never know when you're going to need it. So I keep this little gizmo in here, and I do have a separate tape measure as well. What did I do with the lid? Oh. So keep these from your lunch meats. They make good little organizers for you. In here, I keep command hooks. I keep the extra ones. Remember on these, and I found this out the hard way, the sticky on this goes bad after a while. I had bought a whole bunch and I was at a show and I put them on the wall, and one by one, every now and then, one of my wreaths would fall off the wall. So it was like, oh, that was fun. So I have the command hooks, you know, up to you. These are a little bit heavier. The plastic ones are lighter to travel with. Needless to say, I have them in various sizes. I have different types. This is like a swing hook one. And it all depends what I was able to get my hands on at the time for a show, if I didn't have the, you know, bigger ones. So those are really good to have all the time. I also have, you know, like stocking hangers. They call them mantle. So you would slide this in this way on the table, and you can hang your stocking, you know, like Christmas stocking off of it. I have these so I can, on the front of my table, I can put these on and hang, whether it's bows or wreaths or whatever, or, you know, something small that's not going to be heavy on them. So again, these little totes are perfect to keep them organized. I think I have about 5 of them that I can put on a table at one, you know, one table, and that's about it. I carry a hand receipt book, whatever you want, whatever style, doesn't matter, because God forbid your phone doesn't work, because some locations, even though they give you the Wi-Fi, their system, their internet goes down, and you still want to record, you know, make a sale, you can do this, and then you can enter it all in later when you get home. Let me grab these 2 things. I carry a box, of course, of business cards in here. I used to go ahead and know, okay, a whole box has 250 cards in it, or 500 cards, whatever it is. And I would count out so many and put them out. And then at the end of the show, count how many cards were given out, just out of curiosity. But now that's just a little bit too time consuming. So I don't do that anymore. But I keep a box of cards in here all the time. I keep hand sanitizer, keep some tissues, and these are just felt squares. If you go into a gym and they say you can take your canopy, sometimes they don't have any protection on the floor. So I have these little squares and I just stick them underneath my feet. They'll tell you, you know, if you can bring your tent or not, or your canopy, and you can ask them. And they'll tell you if you need to bring something to put underneath to protect the floor. Okay, let me put this back. And guess what? That's gonna be it that I keep in my stash here. So again, I'll show you what it looks like. Let me put everything back in the box, so to speak. I'll show you what it looks like before I put the lid on it, so you can see. Make sure I get everything in there. So I'm going to take the camera here and I'm just going to hold you down. So you see, that's the box without the lid. And then of course I'll put the lid on it. And then what I put on top is all my signs go in there. Okay. My tablecloth, usually I'll have the tablecloth and I'll fold it nice, but it goes on top. The other thing I keep in there is a banner with my business name. It has the icons where you can find me, YouTube, Pinterest. They're on the other side, Nonnas, Nutty, Krafts. It's a big sign. There they are. Okay. And I'll have this going along the back of my wall. Depending on your tent or canopy, you can put it on the front of your tent outside. It just depends on your clearance, if it's high enough that you can do that. Most of the time my tent isn't, you know, because it's not deep enough, and if I did it, people would have to duck a little bit, even though my canopy goes up to 8 feet. I mean, it's 10 feet, it's 10 by 10, and it goes up in the middle, but in the front, it's enough for you to walk through. But if I put this sign, you'll hit it. So I usually put it along in the back wall. Okay, the other thing I keep in there, this is from Dollar Tree. And this, oops, I forgot which way I had it. This is, you go, God, it's like shelf liner, okay? And I cut them, I have these shelves, and that will be another thing I'll go through with you on another video. And the shelves have, you know, it's just the metal shelf, like you would put in your closet. So in order, so things don't fall through and they can sit better, I have these, I cut these to the length of what I have. So they're all rolled up here, because this is really easy. You can use these in, you know, like in your kitchen shelves and all too. So I keep these in here. I just have it rolled up. I tried contact paper, but the thing with contact paper, if you roll it up or you fold it or anything like that, it leaves a crease or it won't lie flat. If it's rolled, this will lie flat really quick. So that's kept in on the top, and along with my sign and my bag, I put down along the side, and then I'm good to go. And the other thing I have to add is wire cutters, pliers, and scissors. If you're going to do something with glue, I usually make something when I'm there, so I'll take a separate tote, and maybe I'll be making bows, or I'll make a wreath, depending on whatever occasion it is, or if I want to get a head start on fall stuff, or if it's in the fall, the spring, and I'll sit there and I'll make something, because people really like it when you do that. So that's it in a nutshell of my little, I call it my emergency bag, my go-to bag that I take with me all the time, and all that stuff stays in there. Doesn't come out, so that way I'm like, oh my gosh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's here all the time. All right, so hopefully that helped. If you have any questions, please just comment down below. But like, share, and follow me. I have a YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Check me out on my Nonnas Nutty Craft page on Etsy. And if you have any questions, just ask. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.